Number 4, you want to invest in a property. Get yourself ready to invest in a property. If you've never owned a home before, make it your goal that you're going to own a home in the next 90 days. If you already own a property, make it a goal that you will get a second property, an investment home. Because once you own a property, it's so much easier to tell other people what you've done. Nobody wants to walk your talk. They want to walk your walk. Very different. Hey there, Luke. Okay, let me finish the training and then we'll do all of that, because sometimes people send me stuff and questions. But Luke, I'll deal with that in a second. As I was saying, you want to get an investment property. You got to get an investment property. If you own a home and you can say, well, I want to get another property, but I'm behind or this and that, then what will happen is have a conversation with somebody like myself. We can show you so many ways to save your home and or, refer you to people that can help you with that. Or some people have homes that are sitting there free and clear, but they're struggling. And this is why you want 2 homes. As you get older in life, if you have only one home, you're going to either have to sell it, or people, I meet a lot of people that are, families have passed on, family members have passed on, and they did a reverse mortgage and nobody dealt with it. And now the house is upside down and they're going to lose it. Because when you do the reverse mortgage, once the person who did the reverse mortgage passes away, then that debt becomes, because it's already now time for the bank to collect. You got to figure out something. And so again, talking to somebody like myself can help you come up with a game plan. I can't tell you how many people last year I was able to give them a game plan because their mom or their dad passed away and they had a property. Way to go. Yes, 20 houses, that's doable. What happens is people didn't understand what the reverse mortgage was. And I remember in the late 90s, when the reverse mortgage first came out, I was one of the people they targeted to promote it because I had a very successful Century 21 office in the New York area. And when I started promoting it, I felt very good about it. But most people thought it was a scam. And then years later, a lot of people got into it. But when the person passes on, they really don't understand what it means to them. Or you may have a home that's free and clear. It is better to, and again, I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm telling you what has worked for me. It is so much better to pull cash out of your house and go invest in other properties. But you've got to be willing to do the work. I've met some people that say to me, should I pull cash out of my property? And I say, if you're not going to do the work to get the properties and put the right tenants in there, or fix it up and flip it, then I would not tell you to do that. I had a couple last year, and I knew the husband was lackadaisical. And his wife said to me, tell me the truth. Should I do this? And I said, to be honest with you, I wouldn't. But then I've had other people that I know they're going to do the work, because you don't want to pull the cash out and then you go shopping. You don't want to pull the cash out and now you bought a new car. You got to put the money back to work for you, because what I'm trying to teach you with these baby steps is you've got to get to the point where your real estate money is working for you and that you're not working for your money. Like if you're always going to be exchanging your body and your hours for money, your body is like a car. Okay? If you don't give it a break, if you don't put nutrition into it, if you don't treat it right, clean it up now and then, get all that gook out of you, your body's going to tear down. And now you don't even have the most prized possession, which is your body, to put to work. So now you're exchanging your body for hours. Way to go. You're exchanging your body and your time, the two most valuable things you have, to make money that people think this is what you're worth, $20 an hour, even $100 an hour. When your body breaks down, or you run out of hours because you've just worked all your life. This is why I've always encouraged my kids to have their own business. They saw myself, they saw their father with our own business. And so you always want to make sure that you take part of your paycheck and you invest it in a business. And if you have a car, then go Uber. Everybody was teasing this rapper Young Jock for Ubering, and he really did it because he did it for a charity. And he said so many people said, "Oh, you must have fallen off." And he's like, "How can I fall off? I have so many businesses in Georgia." Like, this is how foolish people are. But don't get caught up in people, because what you have to do is temporary. It's not for a long time. If you sacrifice a little bit now, it gets easier. You can cook food and sell it to people. You can offer to babysit. There's so many ways to get some money, and then save enough to get started in a program and stick it out. And also try to get yourself at least a 2-family, a 3-family, a 4-family. Or you can get a house. Nowadays you can do Airbnb. You can get a house and make sure there's an entrance so that you can have people rent from you and they don't have to come to your house. Some people are even taking their garage and turning it into a space that they can get money from. There is no excuse. So again, invest in a piece of real estate property. And understand that your first home is not your dream home. Your first piece of property is not for you. You want to look at the numbers. How will it make a profit for you? Most people look at real estate and they feel that it is harder than it is. It's not that hard, but you got to be willing to have somebody coach you. And yes, it starts in the mind. It really does. Guys, my phones, I'm like on more than one platform. So today, for some reason, the people on Facebook are more vocal. Sometimes it's the people on Periscope that are more vocal. Or so I have to look at what you guys are saying, and I appreciate the communication. You got to be willing to do the work. That is so much more important. Do whatever it takes, but once you get that first property and you see that it wasn't that hard, once you get your credit to a certain place and you speak to the lender, and now you can get up to 4 properties that you don't live in, and then after that you need to put more money down for the other properties. But if you do it correctly, you'll build the cash flow as you keep going. But you got to invest in property, because again, if you were to tell me, I always tell people, if you want to ask me how to raise some amazing kids, I'm the person you can talk to. I think I have the most amazing kids on this earth. We communicate. If we have a disagreement, it's handled. I never have my kids not speaking or fighting. I never have any of that. We can talk to each other. But now, if you want to know how to stay married to the same man for 30 years, I'm not the person, because I've been divorced. If you want to learn how to do real estate and raise your kids on it, I'm the person, because I've done it. So don't get advice from people that haven't done what you want to do. In other words, it's hard for you to tell somebody that you can teach them how to become a real estate investor when you're not investing in real estate yourself. You're talking to them from brain knowledge, not from experiential knowledge. So I can speak to you from so many experiences because I've been in this game for a while. And so that's the difference. So I'm going to encourage you again. The baby steps that we shared is 1, you got to find a mentor or a program. 2, don't put all your eggs, all your money in one basket. Be willing to get yourself pre-qualified, because real estate is about, even though you can buy properties with very little money, amen. Even though you can buy property with very little money and you don't need really high credit scores, you want to make sure you get yourself ready so that when somebody says, no, I don't want to do this deal with you. Hey there, Demetrius. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. So when people say to you that they don't want to do things this way, you can say, well, you know what, this deal makes sense to me. I'm going to go for it. I have the credit. I have the credit line. I have, all my eggs in the basket, and I can go for this. But when you are not ready yet, you need to partner up with people. And again, I don't believe in just taking all your money and buying one house. I've never believed that. I've always believed try to get as many houses as possible and then rent them out. But don't stretch yourself so thin that you don't have time to learn. Don't go and get 20 properties and you have not learned and built yourself up to that level. I have some students that have gone from no properties to 30 properties to never owned a property, and they buy 2 properties every year, and now they're on their 6th property or their 8th property. Like, find a system and stick to it, and it will really, really help you. And make sure you look for rental income. That is the easiest way. The way the real estate is shifting in a lot of states, more people, the millennials, believe in renting more than buying. And the world is so global right now. A lot of people are consultants and work. So they may live in Dallas and work in Atlanta. They may live in, Australia and work in New York. So it's not like before. You get up and you drive a half an hour to your job. More people have to rent in different states. You will cover the gamut if you are fixing and flipping, if you are wholesaling, and if you are buying and renting. And the teaching I like to do is get people financially free. The only way to do that is to learn to hold on to your property, not just to wholesale every deal that comes along. Learn to get wholesale your property. And again, get yourself pre-qualified. I have people I can refer you to. As I mentioned before, they don't pay me for that. I share them because they're good at what they do and they've been doing it for years. And they help some of our students faster. As I mentioned to you before, the gentleman who had been told me the first meeting we had, the game plan, he got in the program, enrolled in the program on the website, chose the two payment plan, and then we met for a game plan. And when I met with him, he shared with me that he had the credit issues, he had his taxes, he hadn't filed the past 2 years, and so I had to refer him to different people. And now he's ready to purchase a home for himself and his family, and he's also been looking at property that he is working on a fix and buy a wholesaling deal. And so it happened pretty much at one time. When you have experts helping you, they can share with you tricks and that other people don't know, and they also can share with you their team and their network of people that you wouldn't have access to on your own. And you want to make sure you own some rental property. You want to learn to build relationships so you can partner with people. Like, I have a deal I'm working on in another state, and one of my students is in that state. So now I can do the deal with that student because they're in that state. If I didn't have somebody in that state, I'd find an agent in that state, but learn to network in other places. Number 3, we said commit to a marketing plan. Learn to start telling people, I am a real estate investor, and be comfortable saying we buy houses for cash. My family and I, my husband and I, whatever, I buy houses for cash. Get comfortable saying that, because people will come to you and say, here's a deal. When they come to you, this is why you need a mentor and somebody to guide you, because they'll come to you with deals that you think, oh, this isn't a deal here. And somebody that's experienced could say, here's how you do the deal in this situation. After you do that a few times, then you can do it on your own. But in the beginning, I can't say this enough, and hear my heart, because I don't want to offend anybody, but hear my heart. If you keep looking for stuff for free, it's going to take you longer to get people to pay you, because you only attract what you put out. So if you want everything for free, people are going to come to you and want everything for free. It's better to say, I can't start at the top, but I can buy a book. I can buy a flip chart. I can buy a CD. I can buy this program. I can't do that. But start where you can, because when you're putting money out, you're telling the universe, and I'm not mixing up God with the universe. God is God to me. The universe is the universe. You're telling the universe that, I'm committed to what I'm doing. And so the universe is going to respond back, because you're vibrating out, this is what I want to do. And now you'll start going down this block and you don't know why. Or you'll say, I really don't want to talk to this person today. And then you talk to them and they got a deal for you, because you're vibrating out and you're showing the universe that you're not just holding on to stuff and being greedy for yourself. Thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate that. And then you also want to make sure that you learn to partner up with people, build the relationships. 3, commit to your marketing. Find a zip code. Start with a zip code. Start no matter where in the world you are. I have students in South Africa. Start with a zip code. Nigeria, a zip code. Ghana, a zip code. Puerto Rico, a zip code. They call it different names in different countries, but it's still a zip code. So if you're in New York, Maryland, wherever, start with a zip code and then build your list from, if you're brand spanking new, start with 100 names in that zip code. Sometimes buying the list can be expensive, but the great thing about buying a list is you can work that list for a minute. The students that join the Yellow Letter Mentoring program, we give them a list for their zip code. But some come into the program with their own list, and then we show them how to work that. So pick a zip code, market that zip code, decide if you're going to do postcards, yellow letters, or if you're just going to go and, you took all your money and you invested into your list, go leave them a note and just say, I'm interested in purchasing this home, and wait to see who calls you and go from there. Start with marketing, start with committing to a marketing, start with a list, a zip code, drive for dollars if you have to, look for properties and addresses, and you can always look them up on the tax records to see who owns what, and then it'll also tell you their mailing address. Start with what you can start with, and then jump out from there. But if you only have a little bit of money, if you have under $5,000, you can get this done. Even $1,000 will help you get started in doing what I'm telling you. And if you have a credit card, you can start doing the stuff I'm suggesting to you. And get your mailing list, and then choose a marketing campaign. What are you going to do to market there? And then stick to it. If you get a list of 20,000, and you write them all one time, and now your phone's ringing off the hook, but you're not answering everybody, you don't have the resources to put the deal together, you can't do anything that you need to do, you're wasting your money. It is so much better to take that money and talk to somebody that could say, if you have this, this is what I would suggest you do first. But start with a smaller marketing campaign. Do 100 letters if you want, 25 a week, or do the 100 the first week and then another 100 the second week, or 100 for the whole month, but do it at the beginning of the month and be consistent. They get a letter from you every single month, because what's going to happen is when your phone rings, you're going to learn what to say. You're also going to walk out a whole deal. You're going to build the team that you need as you're going. So a lot of things have to happen at the same time, and they won't happen if you just take all your money and try to do it real quick. This is why some people will go to these companies that come and say, I'm coming to your town for Saturday, and you'll learn everything you need to learn on Saturday to have a successful real estate business. No, you won't. What usually happens in an event like that, they tell you little bit, and then they upsell you 40, 50,000, 60,000 to get a program. And now you don't even have anybody that's walking you through the whole deal. You don't have anybody that when you're sitting there in a situation, you can call them or text them or email them and they're going to respond while you're in the situation. That's what you need. That's what helped me. Robert Allen was helping me as I was in the situation. And so that's how I help my students. I teach them when they're in the situation. And that's how you learn this information. My broker, Chuck McGill, I always say, may he rest in peace. He shared the information as I needed it. And that's what you need, because as you do it, it becomes more comfortable and it becomes like second nature to you. So pick a marketing campaign, stick to it, whatever you choose to do. Don't do postcards today and then letters tomorrow, and then, door knocking. Door knocking you can do all the time, but give your campaign a few months before you say this isn't working. Because I guarantee you, if you stick to a marketing campaign, somebody's going to call you. And if you learn to create an elevator pitch where you're talking to anybody and you can bring up real estate, like I did with the woman complimenting her about her hair, practice doing that. If you were to say to me, oh, I love your necklace, I would say, oh my God, I'm so happy you like this. I actually chose this to go to a real estate event. What do you think about it? And most people will say, what, a real estate event? What kind of real estate? You got them piquing themselves to talk to you. And then they hold on to the information a lot longer. And number 4, invest in a property. Get yourself a property. And with that being said, if there's anything that you heard that makes you feel like you can go do it, I encourage you, as soon as we hang up, go and get started. Put out your marketing campaign today. Get started. Start doing what you can now. And if you're one of the people that want to connect with me, you can go over to the Yellow Letter Mentoring Facebook page. There is a space there where you can enroll and for us to chat with each other and see if we're a good fit, or if I could just give you some steps. I see some people here. One gentleman called me because he had a property and his family was trying to put together, and he didn't know the steps to take. And because he's in one of our meetup groups, I gave him the steps to take so that he didn't have to try to figure this out on his own. So not everybody I speak to is about, oh, you got to join my mentoring program. No, I'm not a good fit for everybody, and I only want to work with the people that want to do the work. That's who I'm after, the people that want to do the work. Because people don't do the work because they don't know what to do, but the ones that once they learn what to do and you give them the steps and they run with it, those are my people, because I know you're going to succeed. So that's who I'm after. Start where you can. And if you feel like you're ready to, get yourself involved in any one of our programs, start with something like the Millionaire Success Scripts. Success for real estate investors. Start there. That's mainly scripts for wholesaling. It's hundreds of scripts for wholesaling. And what I love about that program is it'll still put you and I in communication. I'm not the kind of mentor that's going to say, oh no, go talk to that person. I make sure I involve myself with the people that I work with. So I really encourage you to get started where you are. And watch this again if you missed anything. My name is Wendy Lovejoy. I really encourage you to connect. Starting in February, we will no longer be doing this every single Tuesday. It's going to be twice a month on Facebook and twice a month on Instagram. And if you are not connected, I really encourage you to like the Yellow Letter Mentoring Facebook page, the Yellow Letter Mentoring program. This is where I'm on there now, and I see there's a few people that are watching us live on that page. If you have not liked that page, please go like that page, because it'll tell you the weeks that we are on Facebook and the weeks that we are on Wendy Lovejoy trainings on Instagram. So I have 2 pages. One is just family fun stuff, and the other is business, and that is Wendy Lovejoy Trainings. Connect with me there. And when I upload the training, you'll be able to get it. I won't be teaching the same things that I teach on Facebook, on Instagram, but it'll all be about real estate and building and running your business like a business, and growing from there. So again, connect with me there. And if you have not joined our meetup, I really encourage you to go over to the Real Estate Investing Academy on meetup, the RIA meetup, and the RIA in the RIA Queens and Long Island. Those are the two to connect with, and we'll be willing to help you. Right. Okay. I definitely will put it on this message when we hang up. I appreciate that. And if you're just saying, you know what, I want to continue with you, then you can go over to the Yellow Letter Mentoring website, www.yellowlettermentoring, just like it says behind me here. This is the workbook that you get with the program. You can go check out the website. The website is basically more like a brochure. It tells you some of the other programs that we offer, and choose something to get started. But if you're not ready for that, go and do your first deal. Take the steps I gave you here, and I promise you it'll happen. I'm going to give you a challenge. Time for a challenge, as my daughter always says. Ma, I want to give you a challenge. So here's the challenge. I'm going to challenge you to walk up to 5 people a day. 5 people a day, including Sunday when you go to church, and simply figure out communicating with them. Hey there, Luke. So you left me one place and came on the other. I'm so grateful that you connected, buddy. I appreciate you. But I want you to walk up to people and say, or friends that you know, and just say something as simple as, let's say I walk up to Luke. Hey, Luke, I haven't seen you in a minute. How's everything going? I was thinking about you the other day because I was looking at a real estate investment property, and I thought this might be great for you because I know him. But if I didn't know him, I'd walk up to somebody, even in the grocery store. Wow, I really like that. I noticed that you have just anything in their basket. Oranges. I noticed that you have some really nice oranges. I'm not that great at picking oranges. So can you tell me, what did you look for, or how did you pick those oranges? What made you get that particular bag? And when they start talking to you, because you started with a friendly conversation, you can say something as simple as, for me, I have to buy so many fruits and vegetables because I'm usually on the go. My real estate is really taking off. I've been in, and that's it. And people don't feel like, oh my God, she's trying to sell me. It's just a conversation. Chit chat with people. I encourage you, 5 people a day. It's a challenge. 5 people a day. You just walk up to them, or you connect with them and share that you are in real estate. I promise you, if you do that, 5 people a day, 7 days a week, 5 times 7, 35 people will know that you are in real estate. And don't tell me you don't have business cards, because you don't need a business card. You could say, text me right now so I can save your number. I'm not going to bother you. I'm not going to harass you. But when I think something you're interested in comes up, I'll call you. Or you can say to them, what neighborhood do you live in? Because I'm actually looking for property in this particular neighborhood. Do you know anybody? Or if you're in the supermarket, you can say, I'm assuming you live in the area, and I don't mean to be nosy, but I see you're a good shopper. So, I was just wondering if you knew anybody that was looking to buy or sell a home, in this area, because I've been looking. I really like this neighborhood. Something that simple, and I promise you, you'll get some leads. I'm telling you, this works. If you look at my social media 9 years ago, this is how I became the top person in 5 links. 9 years ago, doing exactly what I'm telling you, and opened up Columbus, Georgia. This is how I took my real estate office in the Queens area and made it the #1 Century 21 in the area, doing what I'm telling you. And when I want to do more deals, I talk to more people. It is not a big deal. Just do that, and then the next time we chit chat, I'll go over the next steps. But if you do so well that everybody's just clamoring to do a deal with you, then you can set up an appointment and we can talk about getting you to the next level. With that being said, guys, I appreciate you, really appreciate you hanging out with me. But this is so basic. There's no way you can do it. I love you, Periscope and Facebook. You guys are awesome. You can do this. Talk to you soon. Bye.